Hello, everyone. We are going to be doing my 2023 NASCAR predictions. So we're gonna use this tier list maker and basically just put where I think the drivers are gonna be at the end of the season. Honestly, this was really hard to do because I'm in the belief that we might even see the same amount or even more winners because these cars are so similar and everyone's going to have the same baseline. Everyone's so close. This is really going to be more about driver talent and putting yourself in position to win. Not necessarily having the fastest car. As we saw last year, it was complete craziness with how many winners. And I think it's very easily possible to have the same amount of winners or even more. We're going to go in order by number, left to right on the bottom two rows, 17th or 25th in points, and then 25th onwards. That will be in order. The final four round of 8, that will just be where they place in the exact order. I don't know. That's just where I think they'll get. Another thing with the where drivers place in the playoffs, it's a lot of it is track dependent. I think that's a big part. Is if the driver's got the good tracks where he needs them to be, he can go much further than normally. That is definitely the case with 2 drivers on this. So we're gonna start with Ross Chastain. Trackhouse, pretty big story last year, but I think that Trackhouse will have a down year. I still think Ross Chastain is going to make the playoffs pretty easily. He'll probably win a race or 2. I just don't think he's going to have the playoff run that he did last year. Just don't see it. That's just how I feel. I just don't see how he's going to go further as far as he did last year. That's just me. Cindric. I think he's a really hard read because outside of road courses and the Daytona 500, he is really quiet. And I think he's gonna shock people in the sense that I don't think he's going to make the playoffs. It's probably a hot take, but the only way I see Cindric making the playoffs is simply if he wins a road course race. And I feel like what's gonna happen is what happened last year is Cindric is obviously a good road racer. There's no denying that. But I also think there was teams like Joe Gibbs Racing, they really just missed the setup or like how to do a road course car with the next gens. They missed it really, really bad. And some of the lesser teams hit it really, really good. And I think those teams that didn't hit it as good are going to be better this year than they were last year. And that's just going to make it even harder for Cindric to win a road course. But I think he's going to be like the first driver out. Like he is going to be so close, but I just don't think he's going to make it in the end. Next, we have Austin Dillon. He got pretty lucky last year to make the playoffs. I'm going to be honest. I don't think he's going to get the thunderstorm rain shower, take out 20 cars this year. And he will not make the playoffs, but he'll be in the 20s. He'll be in around 20th in points. He'll be in that hopeful category. Now we have Kevin Harvick retiring at the end of the year. I definitely do think he'll go out a winner. He'll make the playoffs, but I don't see a deep run. SHR is in a weird spot. I think Harvick makes the round to 12. But the thing with SHR, it just feels so weird for him right now, and they just don't feel like a powerhouse to me. But Harvick's just good enough, right? He is good as they come, and he will get a win, and he will make the playoffs. But I don't expect too much noise from him. Kyle Larson. I think he's gonna make the Final Four this year. It's simple as that. He's really damn good. Like that's pretty much all you have to say. He drives for Hendrick, and he's one of the best drivers in NASCAR. I think he's just gonna do really well. Brad Keselowski. Oh man, Brad is tough. But I just don't see him making the playoffs again. but I think he'll be better than he was last year. I think RFK will make those, gains, but that's pretty much it. Like he'll be better, but it's not good enough to make the playoffs. Corey LaJoy. Okay, I'm just gonna file. I'm just gonna get these like drivers that really don't have a shot, in my opinion, out of the way. These four guys. I mean, it's Spire, the two Spire cars. Spire's slow, and Cody Ware is Cody Ware. They drive slow cars. Simple as that. And then Todd Gillen obviously will be low in points because he just got kicked out of his full-time ride for some reason, which is pretty bizarre. Yeah, not much really to say about those guys, right? Kyle Busch. Oh, the talk of the offseason, huh? I think there's only two options for Kyle Busch. One, he does really bad and doesn't even make the playoffs, or he's going to be on a mission like no one's ever seen Kyle on before, and he's going to make the Final Four. I think he's going to make the Final Four. I think he's going to be a man on a mission to prove everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing that you shouldn't have treated whatever happened, because I'm not going to lie, it looked like a really messy breakup. But I think he's going to have a big year. He's motivated more than ever, I think, and he is going to tear some stuff up, and he is going to be very, very good. Chase Elliott, super consistent for the first 2/3 of the year. Very, very good. But the playoffs started, and then he just fell off. Basically disappeared besides Talladega and the Roval. And I'm going to be real. I have concerns. And I'm going to be honest. He makes the playoffs, but I think he's going to go out in the round of 16. I just have a feeling that their struggles will continue. I just don't see this big resurgence from him from the end of last year, which were that they just kind of struggled. They limped into the Final Four. They had all the regular season playoff points, and they limped into the Final Four. Is basically what happened, in my opinion. Next, Eric Almirola, doing a Tom Brady and saying he was going to retire, then didn't retire. Honestly, nothing against Eric, but I just don't think he's going to be very good this year. I just don't see it. That's just me. Like, maybe he makes it up to here, but no higher than that. But I don't think he's going to be very good this year. Denny Hamlin, it was a very weird year for him last year, wasn't it? First part of the year, he couldn't do anything right. And then he started winning a couple of races, and he was so close. And then he got Hail Meloned by Ross Chastain. Honestly, he got Ross Chastain about 10 times. It felt like. I think he's going to have a much better year this year overall, in the sense of like consistency. And I think he'll actually end up making the Final Four again. That's what I think. At worst, he does the round of 8 until proven otherwise. All right, next. Ryan Blaney. I like to call it the greatest choke artist NASCAR has to offer. Man, it's, when this man wins stage 2, he ain't got a shot to win. It's over when he wins a stage. God, I just don't. It's such a hard read because like you feel like he should be so much better than he's shown, right? Like, I feel like he should win so many more races, but he doesn't. I think that's gonna be the trend still, and I don't see he's gonna be down, have a down year again, even worse than last year. Even though he might win a race this year, I think he's gonna be out in the round of 16. Ryan Blaney is such a oddity. You think he should be like a superstar. Everyone kind of tells you he is, but he doesn't really show anything to be like, yeah, man, that guy's just like, he's the next big thing. He's such a weird anomaly, I guess you could say. Next, we have Chase Briscoe. He's also very hard to read. He started off really strong, got the win at Phoenix. He had more chances to win and threw him away out of desperation. Then disappeared, was terrible for a while there, I felt like. Then he had a run to the playoffs. It was such a hard read, and I don't know. I just feel like SHR isn't going to be that team capable of really competing that much. I think Harvick will be fine just because he's Kevin Harvick. But honestly, I'm going to have Chase Briscoe missing the playoffs this year. I think he'll be close, but there's just things I see like desperation moves, and every time he goes for one, he messes it up. There's a difference of letting everything out for the win and then just doing stuff that has a 0% chance of working, but you do it anyways. I think if he doesn't win a race early, that pressure is going to set in, and he's just going to make a lot of mistakes. AJ Allmendinger. Now this is a driver I have very high expectations for. He was very good in his part-time schedule. He had a very good average finish. He's going to be a monstrous threat at every single road course, especially being full-time, have a full team behind him the entire time. I have AJ Allmendinger making the round of 8. I think he's just that round of 12. It's got a road course in it. Quality cars at plate tracks. That's a recipe for success, in my opinion. And I think that will be enough to get him to round of 16. Round of 8, but I don't think he's going to have the firepower to make the final 4. Chris Buescher got a win at Bristol last year. Happy for him, but I'm going to be honest. I think RFK will continue to make gains. I just don't see them being playoff ready yet. I just don't see it out of the RFK cars. Truex. Now, this is a weird driver after last year. Everything that could have went wrong did go wrong. He didn't win a race. Somehow didn't make the playoffs, even though he's 4th overall in regular season standings. He is going to have a fire under him, and he will be very good this year. He'll be so good, in fact, I think he makes the final 4. And then he'll also say he is retiring. So he might go out as a champion. Next up on the dock is Christopher Bell. Made the final 4 last year. Probably the future of Joe Gibbs Racing. He'll be good. But I just have a feeling he's gonna run into trouble in the playoffs this time around. Definitely had a lot of luck. Round of 12. Last year he got really lucky with how the Roval played out. I don't think he's gonna get that lucky again, and actually have him going out in the round of 12. So that's that. Next, Harrison Burton. Pretty awful rookie season, I think everyone could say. I think he'll be better this year, but he's still going to be below 25th in points. Well, Joey Logano. Obviously, we have our final 4 already picked, so we already know who's not making the final 4. I mean, it's an odd number year, so you know Joey can't make the final 4. So it's a simple rule. I feel like he's just going to run into trouble in the round of 12. Simple as that. He probably is going to be fast enough to make the round of 8, but sometimes, just things happen, and I think it will happen too. Next, Bubba Wallace. I think he's going to make the playoffs this year. I think he's going to get a win before the playoffs, make the playoffs. I think he's going to be a lot more of a complete driver, because I think the biggest issue with Bubba is consistency and being able to put everything together for longer periods of time. Seems like last year, just like these like little spurts of greatness, and then he would disappear, then another spurt. I think you're going to see that floor be increased, and that'll be enough for him to make the playoffs this year. Next, William Byron. Oh boy, Willie B, one of the oddities in NASCAR, I think. He's kind of like Blaney. You think he's gonna break out and make that next step, but he just never has yet. Made the round of 8, only because NASCAR had a situation about some rules that weren't properly enforced. I just don't have faith in Byron, honestly. I think he makes the playoffs, but he goes out early. Justin Haley. I think he's going to make some gains, but he's still not going to be where he needs to be to make the playoffs. but I think he'll end up in between the RFK cars. You'll see some improvements, but he isn't going to be playoff ready. Michael McDowell. Oh boy, this is a hard read. I don't have him making playoffs. Had a really good year last year, but he lost his crew chief, which I think honestly might have been a lot of it. I think he's gonna have a worse year. Him losing Blake Harris, his crew chief, is gonna hurt him, I think, and he'll definitely take a step back. Also, he's not getting any younger. Another factor. I just don't see that team improving when they lost their crew chief that really elevated their game. Oh boy. And now next we have Ryan Preece. To be honest, I don't expect much from SHR this year, but he'll still be better than Cole Custer. I mean, from averaging like a 27th place finish, they'll go up to like a 25th place finish, average finish. There's not much more else to say. Rookie Noah Gregson, one of two meaningful rookies this year. I don't have him making the playoffs, but I think he's gonna be near 25th in points. He'll be an improvement over Ty Dillon, but he'll still have a lot of growing pains and stuff. There's not really much else to say. I typically don't have a lot of expectations for rookies. They typically struggle. I mean, it's kind of as simple as that. Noah's got a lot of learning to do, I think. But he'll have a respectable rookie season. Nothing to be ashamed of. All right. Eric Jones did win a race last year, and I think Legacy is going to keep getting better. And you're going to call me crazy, but I'm going to have Eric Jones in the round of 8. I know people are going to say biased for sure, but a lot of his best tracks are in the round of 16 and round of 12. Round of 16 is Darlington, which is by far his best track. 2 of his 3 wins have come there. He's really good there. Kansas, he's historically pretty good there. Bristol, he's historically pretty good there. Round of 12 is Texas. He's really good there. Talladega, he's one of the best plate racers in NASCAR right now, in my opinion. And he's a pretty decent road racer, but I think Petty GMS, Legacy Motor Club missed the setup, and I think they'll be better. They showed improvement at road courses. If he can make the playoffs, he has a very good path to the round of 8, in my opinion, and I think he will. Tyler Reddick, moving over to 23XI, I think will have a big year. Will make the round of 8. I think it's pretty reasonable expectation. Tyler Reddick is one of the best drivers, I think. And he's going to have a team that is really behind him and that he wants to be in. We all know how the RCR thing ended up. All right, we got Spinhouse. He's going to be bad. It's JTD. They don't really strike me as a team to be scared of. Alex Bowman. I think he makes round of 8. So that's going to set the playoff field for us. Round of 8, Blake Harris getting the crew chief that Michael McDowell had last season. I think that's going to be a huge improvement for Alex Bowman. Simple as that. I think he's going to be really good this year. Simple as that. So that means that I have Ty Gibbs missing the playoffs. I think he's going to be pretty good, around 20th in points. And Suarez, I think barely misses the playoffs. Simple as that. So yeah, that's what I think. We can all come back and laugh at this in like 7 months or whenever the playoffs start, and completely laugh at this. So I hope you guys enjoyed what my thought process was, what I believe in. Liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it helps me out. Let me know what your thoughts on this and what you think, who you think will make the playoffs as well. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will catch you guys in the next video.